Let me double check on YouTube. This new filming on the camera thing is brand new to me. All right, so let's see if it says I'm live. I'm live. Oh no, we have the incorrect orientation. Shoot. Okay, hold on. Hopefully I can get this to, there we go. Right? Yes. Oh boy. Orientation was locked. Okay, how do I fix that? Hi, Carla. I'm trying to figure out how to. Give me a second. How do I fix the orientation? That is not going to work, is it? Retouch. How was your day today? I hope it was really good. I don't know how to unlock this art asylum. I'm gonna hang this in here for a second because I don't want to make anybody dizzy. I'm gonna have to stand up. I may have to restart this live. That's gonna be unfortunate. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I want. What does this do? Nope. Not bad for a Monday. Good to hear. Mondays being, generally what they are. I can't figure out how to make the, I don't know why the orientation is locked. It was fine earlier when I tested it. Okay. Just give me a minute. I am sorry about that. I'm not trying to, what does this do? Oh, okay. Okay, that's, oh boy. What does this one do? Nope, that's not what I want. Okay. Anything that gives you a little joy in the Monday, right? I'm gonna hang it in here and we're gonna see. This is very unfortunate. I do not like what's happening right here. I feel like if I restart this live, nobody's gonna show up. Something up here so we have something to figure out how I will get it in the. At least he was an orange, right? Okay. So if I turn it this way, is this? Okay, somehow I made my camera. Let me see. We'll try and make our best out of this. Okay, let's see if that. It's way too much of me in there. Let's see. You see it all? Okay, well, you may be looking at my lap for part of the night. I don't know how to. I'm gonna do this. Trying to get me off the video. Okay. Let's see if that. I tested this earlier specific. I must have had the camera wrong when I started the video. Okay, well, I've learned something new. And we'll just do our best for this. So we'll just be chatting for a little while we're waiting to see if people come in. I have a couple of things to show. So it'll be a little weird because it's sideways for me, but we can make it work. We can make it work. So a while ago on a live, I was working on making a journal out of this macaroni box. And it's from Aldi, I think is where you buy that at. It is purple paper, and the color. I figured out part of the problem was the surface I'm filming on. It has wood grain on it, so the camera's trying to focus on that over and over again. And then I had some stuff up here that was in frame, so it was trying to focus on all of that. So I'm just using this piece of muslin. But yes, we're doing purple and some teal, and then some, a few other things. We got stuff. And the colors are showing up much closer to, this is a grid paper, so it's showing up much closer to the true colors. So I was making, and it had the paper hanging out. And then I got this fabric, which I tea dyed. And it made it look much classier, than the original guts. So let's see, where am I at? I think the camera's, where's the camera? Is at this end. Okay. So I hate to do it, but I'm going to twist it again because I think it'll be easier if the camera's at the other end. Will she make up her mind or won't she? So let's. And we're going to have some buffering. Okay, so gotta wait for that buffering to quit. All right. Now to figure out where. Where does it need to go? There we go. Okay. No, I know, but hopefully some. So we have the macaroni box, and we took it apart, and we, for a little while, and it had guts in it. That was the packaging. And I really like packaging journals, I'm going to tell you. They're my favorite. So we had these guts inside of this book. And when I put the fabric on, so hold on, let me take out the new guts that I made. Hey, QB's Legacy. So I had it like this. And once it was covered in this fabric, this fabric is so much classier than, sorry. So this fabric is much, and it doesn't look great with all of the edges sticking out. I'm pulling it the wrong way, I think. All right, I'm just trying to get the. Okay, that sounds cool. Oh, there we go. There we go. We're getting there. Okay, so you can see it stuck out a lot, and I liked it when it was just a cardboard cover, but once it was covered in this fabric, I didn't think it looked as good. So I made new guts out of some of my dyed papers. So we're sorry to hear that she's not doing well, but I'm glad you're there to help out with her channel. So we have some teal, a little bit of tea, some purple, a little bit of the unicorn paper, which I like very much. And we even did just some plain grid paper for funsies. And there's a nice yellow sheet. So each, it's a little different in each one. Like I use different grid paper for, so here this one's got a lined purple paper instead of a, you know. So I made the new guts, and it's 7 pieces per, and I think it's going to be a 3 signature. And then I went ahead and put some of the new teal paper that I made. Oh, thank you very much. That's very nice of you. Really appreciate it. So I put in this teal paper to complement the, I think it goes nicely with the blue that's tea dyed. I think they make a nice complementary thing that's going on. And then, so it'll be 3 signatures. I think there's more than enough room for 3 in here. Because when you look at it from the top orientation, I have to stop and wait for it to catch up so I know. Yeah, so when you see, I think that's a good amount of room for expansion for adding things in and everything like that. And ta-da! So I'm just waiting for my awl to arrive so I can poke the holes without poking my fingers. And then I'll get those signatures sewn in. But in the meantime, then I had the guts from the other book. And really, that fabric is just beautiful. So I had the guts from the other book. Our fun, all of our packaging stuff, our leftover bag. We've got grocery bags and scraps of paper and some leftover book pages. Packing envelope from the Amazon. The backside of a pad of paper I took apart. Look at, there's a scrap of purple that's very dark. And Murder Mittens, yes. Murder Mittens is one of Carla's lovely kitties. And this messy painty paper that I found, and more. Even a book page, because those are fun to do too. I like different things in my, this could be a journal, this could be a glue book. It kind of, I wouldn't do a lot of really wet media in here, just because there are several different kinds. A lot of the packaging will definitely hold up to that. So there's 2 signatures like that. And then I'm like, well, now I need a cover for that. So I got a packing envelope. It's a good sized one. I think it's one of the medium. It's not one of the biggest, although I did tear off about 3 inches for it to go with the signature. So when I put it in the signature, just like that. Nope, I think it was fine this way. Bottom, but the top was loose because I ripped the envelope in half. Yes, she does like pets a lot. Yeah, I love the nickname Murder Mittens. I think that's perfect. So since it was already separated, I thought hey, why not? Then we could turn the front into a thing and have a tuck in there, and that would be super fun. How is Murder Mittens, lovely Miss Noodles today? And Coley and Blackie, who are equally awesome. So you still, so it still sticks over the, and it comes out the side this way, but the cover is more in sync with the length of the pages. And so I'm good. I have some paper that I'm getting ready to dye, and I think it'll go great with this. So I'll be finishing that up coming up. And then we'll have a tucky thing here, and it's kind of the same on the back, but I don't think I want to make a second tuck. I think what I'm going to do is glue this side here, and then I'll make a little, you know, so that we can stuff something in the top here where it's open. But we'll go ahead and seal up this side here. She's been a snothead, and Pinky and Coley are just fine. Well, hopefully she's not scratching you, but I know she does steal all your goodies and stuff. Yeah, thumb notch. There you go. So that it's clear that it's a pocket that'll have something in it. And so I have enough fabric to make a second one of these. So this one may wind up in the next sale because I can make myself another one. And I clearly have another macaroni box. I like the size. It's a little bit bigger than a straight up, you know, 8x6 or whatever. This is 6 inches. So I do like that I could put the paper in here, fold it, and not have to trim it. And the box itself without the flappy parts is 8.5. So it is just about perfect. So I can make a second one of these. I have the fabric. And I really enjoyed making it. It was fun. But for this one, I am thinking about, typed it up for, let's see. Oh, yeah. That's one of their favorite pastimes sometimes, isn't it? Let me just knock your stuff off here. I typed up a post for my godmother. You're being so nice to her, doing extra things for her. I think that's great that you're helping her out. She's not feeling well. So I thought with this one, we're just actually waiting for some more people to come in for the sale, you know. Oops. So we will just chitty chat for a little while until we have enough people to proceed with the sale. But some of you who've been with me for a while will remember when I received these books. So we have Beauty and Decay. I don't know what we're doing here. Nope, that's not right either. I think it just looks weird on my... She's laying on your hip. That seems like one of her favorite spots, right? And then we have the book States of Decay. So these have fun, like abandoned places, type of photos. Like there's a bowling alley. It's coming up. I can't figure out what way to... Well, it'll do. Yeah. Let's see. No, that's not quite right either, is it? There we go. Okay. That's the orientation. So just some fun stuff. We'll have to slide it back into keys. Keys is good. So I thought we might use some pages from this book to, you know, to give this book some character. Because they'll, you know, we got some old shoes. It's coming up. There we go. And it goes across this way as well. It's a big book. There's let's see. That's a church in Pennsylvania, so that's the organ right there. And this one here says it is a coal breaker in Pennsylvania. So big piece of machinery there. And we'll skip ahead a few. Oh, there's church arches. That's always good for kind of creepy, right? And this is in Pennsylvania. There's the other side of it. Precarious but comfortable. I think that's a lot of cats. I think them, or it's like a cocoon. So this is an elementary school in the auditorium. So there's the stage and then the seating. And there's another right there, another picture of it. Same, just from another angle. Closer, so they were standing on the stage looking towards the back, so you can get a better view of all of that. Let's see, old light bulbs. And let's see, what's this one here? That's still the elementary school. That's just a different angle. This is from an asylum. I think you can usually tell from a lot of the walls in the older asylums, they're this green color, this like kind of sickly green. And then over here you've got it's in New Jersey. You've got all this peeling stuff in the background. My tennis elbow's acting up. Oh, yeah. That would be bad. Not sure what to think about the chair. Oh, here we go. This is, it just says, it doesn't say which one, but look at the size of the building. Like that's half the building. So there's like probably an east wing and west wing, and there may be more going on behind it that we can't see. They pick period calming colors, greens, yellows, blues. Always love that, just the balls, just like, you know, just some ball pit ball kind of balls. That's a little creepy. And then you know, they all had because you couldn't have anybody like breaking the windows and hurting themselves or jumping out of the windows. Dental surgery. And then over here, we've got a nice peeling wall. That's at that asylum. Let's see if I had to leave my mark somewhere. That's what that says. I had to leave my mark somewhere. So we'll be moving on to the sale shortly. We're just letting people come in and get rested and acclimated. Let's see. We've been on for 24 minutes about. Aw, that's nice. This is a hotel in Pennsylvania. So then I'll flip to the back some more. I like some of these ones. Like look at this telephone one. Isn't that fun? And I'm very attracted to chairs in rooms. So I like this one here. I think that's a nice picture. But when you combine it with other images, like here's a salon equipment in a sanatorium in New York. So they got their hair done. Those beauty chairs where you sat with your and then there's patient bath, the sign for patient bath. So I think that could be maybe fun for the cover. She's like a Miss Doolittle. I believe that about her from everything she said, and she absolutely adores animals. Cats are a good judge of care. They are. They have their preferences. And then over here we've got, there's a gurney. Just a lone gurney, so, but look at the lights too. There's lights. So let's have a look at, oh, and there's a bed in a room there. So yeah, let's look at a few things in the other book while we're waiting to move on with the sale. So this one's Beauty in Decay. Murder Mittens hates everyone. Even you. Well, that's a with a name like Murder Mittens. Look at that stairway. Okay, let's see. That looks like part of a factory. I'm not sure. That almost looks like a mat. There's like little cages. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on there. It doesn't give a photo credit for it. I'm always intrigued by bathtubs in weird spaces. Oh, it's very good. QB's Legacy. I think that's awesome. Okay, so here we go. Sweeping stairway. Look at all that intricate woodwork. There's some very nice stuff going on there. So, and then the photographer, you know, set up a tripod and did some shots with himself in the images. There he is in a cast mask and some khaki shorts and stuff. But let's get a little further into the book. Oh, creepy. It's not necessarily a baby, but it is like a articulated, like doll type thing, like a figure. And then just a creepy hallway. Who doesn't love a creepy hallway? It probably is. A lot of the buildings are crash test dummy. I don't think it is. I think it's just articulate. It was probably a. I wouldn't venture to guess, honestly. Big factory. There's still some machinery in there. And then over here we've got vacuum cleaners. It's a room of vacuum cleaners. And that's the picture off the cover. That's the photographer again. Wearing a little bit more gear and a big leather coat and some boots. Ooh, that's a nice one. Let's see. I have always looked upon decay as being just as wonderful and rich as an expression of life, as growth. It's from Henry Miller, American author and writer. Oh, that's really sweet, Precious. I love it. All right. There's some graffiti. I'm just showing the one side of the book for now while we're awaiting people to arrive. I know sometimes it takes a while for those notifications to go out, and sometimes I feel like the sale ends early and people haven't even seen the notification yet, you know? I am pretty quick. I did not buy it. It was gifted to me. I imagine it came off of Amazon or some other online bookseller. It is called Beauty in Decay. So you can probably obtain one if you are in love with it's a coffee table book, but the person who sent it to me let me know that they intended for me to dismantle it and use it in my art, because this is totally my vibe. Here's machinery made to look like faces, like robot faces. That's cool. And then this is going to be a section of like underground tunnels, subway tunnels, and things like that. light from above. That could be a little creepy, right? We'll look at all that pipe work. This is from Urban Exploration. Abandoned factories and subway tunnels and office buildings and obviously sanitariums and hospitals. Chicken enchiladas are a beautiful thing. Look at that stairwell. You don't really find them like that anymore. And there's one on the other side that's even more like. Oh, thank you, Carla. Appreciate it. They're just abandoned and lonely, but yes, they can definitely be creepy. Anything that's, you know, it's desolate and it has, you know, memories of the past. And long hallway with doors, that's probably asylum or sanitarium of some sort. There's a gross sink. And then, you know, the curtains, the privacy curtains. Carla's very good about dropping the links. I appreciate it. So I think with all these super fun, lovely images. Oh, here we go, abandoned Ferris wheel. I find those actually kind of become fragile pretty quickly when they get left behind. Oop. Risk. I wonder what this one's going to be about. I marked this section. Oh, so you can see there's a shadow of a doll, a pile of gas. Oh, look at that. The other page. So this is all the gas masks in a factory, probably. A row of sinks back there, but then there's a close-up. And that is kind of creepy, isn't it? Combined with the right other images, you could definitely... Hey, Shelly, how's it going? We're just hanging out for a bit while we're waiting for people to get their notifications. Come in for the sale. We've got purple and teal and some other fun stuff. I'm looking. Did I miss Elisa come in? I'm on live chat. Let's see. Yep. Oh, I see you. Hey, Elisa, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. We're just having a mosey through this book. It's called Beauty and Decay. And just having a little chitty chat while we're waiting for people to mosey on in, and then we'll get on with the sale. Ooh, look at that. That guy's a little creepy. He's got like, it's like tree horn, or he could be standing in front of a tree, which is probably the most likely case, but it looks like it's horns coming out of his head. Good placement. And then I think that's probably a church. It does capture some good ominous. Look at those steps. I for sure could fall down those steps. I am an expert at that sort of thing. Hallways can always be a little creepy. Plague mask and deer horns, yeah. But I don't know if it's obvious in the picture that it is like tree branches, but it does look like animal. Let me see if I can get it up close enough for you guys. Hold on, it's slow. So there we go. I think he's standing in front of a really cool tree. but it does. It's good placement. It's extra creepy. It has an atmosphere, you know. Look at, and that's orientated. That's how they took the. Oh, the bus is on its side. That could be kind of. That could be a haunty thing. School bus crash. I think this is from a prison. Or it could be also an asylum. That's a factory. The Six Flags closed down in Maryland. Already a buyer for the land. Six Flags in Maryland's been around for quite a while. I went a couple of times way back when. We lived in Maryland for a while. It's actually the place we lived the longest, where my dad was stationed the longest. It is a Krampus vibe, yeah. I like it. I like the association. A little ominous with his dark clothing, the gas mask. I'm sad that many people are losing their jobs, but hopefully, they'll build something else that will provide some employment on the land that they're buying, and the rides will probably be sold off, whether for scrap or to be refurbished and installed someplace else. Now that is a hallway with one of those. It's wood inlay, but it's got the metal all around it. But that's the ceiling, and and the windows are shining in. So that's, I don't know what kind of building that is. I'm going to go with maybe an asylum. A lot of the pictures in here are from. There's could be a hot tub or a bath of some sort. Oh, and then this part says beauty. Let's see what the beauty part holds for us. Interesting. Oh, that looks dangerous, actually. Oh, a fountain kind of thing. Oh, yeah, you could be right. They in New Orleans, close decades ago. I think the one in California is still open. But I haven't checked on it in a long time. We went there when I was, the summer I turned 9, I think. We went from Hawaii, where my dad was stationed, and we were going to Maryland. And so we went, first we flew over to California, and he had to pick up his car because he had it shipped over. And then they bought a tent trailer. We were going to drive across to Maryland. And one of the things they did while they were waiting for everything to happen is we went with my Uncle Aaron, who's only a few years older than me. Yeah, Magic Mountain. And him and my dad went on whatever was the newest ride. It was called the Colossus, and it was all wooden. And they had big talk. I wasn't tall enough to go on the ride at the time, but they came off it green, and they both loved. That's very modular, very modern, right? Maybe that's what they did with all the alien spaceships that landed. They turned them into housing. There's a not a real elephant. It's a cement one. I've been to the one in Maryland, and I had been. Hey, Roseanne, how's it going? Hope you're having a great evening. We're just doing a little chitty chatting while we're getting ready to do this live sale. We're gonna we've got purple and teal, and a couple of packs, and I have one journal for sale. Made out of upcycled things. A lot of auditoriums and speaking spaces. Oh, there's the guy standing in a bathtub, surrounded by, I want to say it's butterflies. It doesn't look big enough to be birds, but it could be bats. And he's got like a plague style mask on. I have never been to the one in Ohio, but I have been to Maryland and California. I didn't get to the one in Georgia either. And I honestly didn't know they had one in Ohio. We lived there for a while in Columbia. Oh, coffin. Or at least it looks like a coffin. Okay, and then the next section is called Curiosity. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, look at that. Very artistically styled staircase. At my age, I would not go back. I might take somebody's grandkids or, you know, some younger people, but roller coasters are no longer for me. I've reached that point in my life where that does not, I don't find that enjoyable. Now, I did not too long ago. That almost looks alien, doesn't it? I know it's not, but it looks a little bit like it. Look at those windows. Kings. Yes, I know what you're talking about, and I can't. It's escaped my mind. Here's another. I think that is actually a pool. So that's an old pool, and here's a old wheelchair. Anybody have anything good for dinner or lunch? Did you have an exciting lunch? Danger, do not enter. Leaving the protected zone. This part says challenge. We're not almost near the end of the book. But it looks like we'll be getting started soon. We've been chatting for about 45 minutes. I figure sometimes people don't get the notification till the live's been on for like an hour. Dolly Parton has frozen dinners, and I had the chicken and dumplings. Nice. Was it good? I've had the one of the, you know, my host, they have some Dolly Parton brownie mix, and they made some recently, and it was pretty good. It was kind of a mix between cakey and chewy. It was a good. It was nice. I would expect her stuff to. So there's another gas mask pick, and then look, tiny pictures of everything. I could go through and do a tiny teeny out of all these little itty bitty photos. But you have to choose because you can't have both sides. So yeah, so I thought for this book, I would use, I'm going to do some fabric and a little bit of the new paper that I'm doing, which I'll have a preview of for Patreons very soon. And then I would maybe use a couple of the pictures. I lived everywhere. I lived in a lot of different places. That's true. I think I counted them up one time. It's like 17 to 19 places from, you know, we started in Texas for my dad's basic training. I was born in California. I've lived in several places in California, been to Maryland, Texas, briefly in Florida, South Carolina, Ohio. I've been in the Philippines. I've been in Japan. I was a baby when I was in Japan. And Hawaii, which is part of the United States, but it's not the continental. So yeah, I've been around a little bit. But I know people that have been around even more than me. We're more adventurous. Kitchen merchandise for Dolly Parton is being sold. Cute miniature kitchen towels. That's cute. So yeah, so I thought I would take some stuff out of those books to embellish that journal, which is, this is my upcycled journal and guts that we made to go in that macaroni box journal, that once we put the fabric on it, it was way too nice. And the pages were, they didn't seem as big when I was making it, but then once the edge of the box wasn't torn, and it had that really nice fabric on it. It just wasn't a good match. Yes. Yes, I have been to a lot of schools. I never counted the amount of schools, just the number of places. And some of them were as adults, but a lot of them were as I was a child. I lived in Japan when I was a baby. I don't remember it. I just have stories my parents told. And then the Philippines, I remember I was in preschool and kindergarten there. So I do have some memories of that. And I made some of that packaging paper with some sewing on it. But yes, I did go to quite a few grade schools. And I think I went to 4 different middle schools and high schools. Might have been 5, but there were at least 4. And we went to Germany. I was in Germany as a teen. That was one of my high schools. I know, I don't have any, when I went live, it said it was locked and it wouldn't let me turn it. I tested all this stuff earlier. Unfortunately, we'll just have to deal with it tonight, but I can tell you, look at this. Look at how much better the color is. It's showing true color. I'm filming on my phone. So, I got some advice from a couple of different people that this is the way to go. And look at how much, even the yellow, we tested the yellow earlier. Let me find it. So I can't change it this time, but next time I will be more careful about how I turn the direction I want it to. But yeah, so the colors are coming out super nice. Uh-oh, here we go. What are we doing? We get a nice look at the color. So this is a pale yellow, but at least now we can tell it's yellow, whereas before when we were filming it on the Logitech camera, it was coming off as almost white. So that is awesome. So it looks like we've been on for 48 minutes. And I don't do veggies in my dumplings. Well, I don't blame you. Not for everybody. I love veggies and everything. You've moved around. My daughter had been in 7 schools by 7th grade. Yeah, it depends on the type of job. Like my dad was in the military, so we went a lot of places. People who move for their corporate jobs or for law enforcement and stuff like that, you know, you can wind up all over the place. People who work in construction, you go where the work is. A puppy with a crown on it. Nice. So yeah, but I have noticed that when we go live, sometimes it takes up to an hour before people really start coming in and they start getting those notifications. So, but we can, are you, I'm trying to make sure I'm reading all the chats. So the brownies were very good. I don't think I could eat a whole box of them, though. They were very sweet. But it's good to know that the dinners she makes are tasty. Because sometimes stuff looks tasty and it's not. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Carla had a decent Monday. Roseanne, have you had a very nice Monday? I hope you have. And we know QB's not feeling great, but Precious is taking care of her stuff. Let me get out my notebook and we'll get the first thing up on the screen here. But yeah, I'm much happier with how the color's coming out. So we're going to have a couple of packs of paper, and then we're going to have a single sheet choices. We have some index cards. We have a little bit of unicorn paper still left that I'm going to show. And so while we're just waiting on things, this is going to be our first set tonight. So we have, it's a 20 sheet pack of purple. Hold on, teal, yellow, and mauve. So that's going to be our first offering up today. She loves a, I do like a Whopper myself. It's, you know, for me, I can't speak for everybody else and what other people's preferences are, but I have to say, in terms of still tasting like a burger, because sometimes I feel like McDonald's doesn't. They have so many fillers in it now. I know it doesn't taste like it did when I was a kid, but the Whopper is still like it's still juicy. It's still, it feels like I'm eating a burger as opposed to I'm eating a burger. It's like a cheese and a cheese product, you know. There's a slight difference in there. So yeah, but I understand the love of the Whopper. I think there are many of us Whopper lovers out there. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you like them. I think it's a nice set of colors. I think it works well for springtime stuff, for summertime stuff. A lot of these will pair good with other colors that are coming out. It's just a nice way to build up a little bit of a stash if you don't have these colors already. Or if you're just trying it out, you know, if this is like a new, maybe you haven't bought before, or I haven't, some of the like mauve is a discontinued color. It's a vintage red dye. And this yellow is actually a vintage red dye as well. They do have a yellow now, but it's a brighter, poppier yellow. Aw, thanks, Shelly. I appreciate it. How you doing over there? You having a good day? I hope so. Let's see. And what else can I tell you about? So we will get, I think what we will do here is I'm gonna drink a little bit more water, and then I think we'll get a start, and we can maybe recap at the end if people come in the middle. I will have to go kind of slower to keep the camera from freezing up. Apparently moving very quickly is part of the problem. It's part of what makes the Logitech is a little grainy on its own, but this is a lot clearer, I think. You're having a good day. I'm glad to hear it. All right, so this is a live sale for today is the 19th, and we are doing, let me see, how many lots are we up to today? We're doing 17 lots, so it shouldn't take too terribly long, and then we'll get you guys bundled up. I will be billing tomorrow, and I should be shipping out by Wednesday or Thursday. You know, it depends on what time on Wednesday I finish. Sometimes we don't get done in time to get the afternoon mail. Sometimes it has to go out the next day. But I will be billing pretty quickly, and we hope to get these mailed out to you so you can use them and love them and make things with them. I have been enjoying making journals so much and working on some collage stuff. But after this live, I will take a short break because, you know, after every live sale, one must use the restroom. And then I'll come back and I'll do some glue booking for tonight because I haven't been doing. You'll tell her, thank you. We share a love of Whoppers. So tonight's first item is a 20 pack. It's a multicolors. It's 4 colors. We've got the purple, the teal, the yellow, and the mauve. There are 5 sheets of each color for a total of um, 20 pieces. Um, and I can't read my own handwriting. How bad is that? um, it's $11.25 for the pack. So if you're interested, oh, I didn't put in the go ahead of time, did I? So I'm just gonna put in multi-pack, the price, and go. And I gotta find a little spot up here for my keyboard. Sorry about that. Okay, so also get my. I chatted for so long I forgot to prep this part. Okay, so multi-pack, color pack. It's $11.50, and the go is coming your way. So if you're interested in that pack, Roseanne, you'd like one? Perfect. And there are 4 of these available for anybody who's interested. I'd like to remind people that people on Alyssa, you'd like one? People on Patreon at the $5 level and above automatically get a 10% discount, which will be calculated on your invoice when I do it. So there's 2 more available if anybody decides they would like to have one of these. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate it. And then let's go on to the next item. I'm just trying to find a good spot to put these so that I can pull them back up later. So here we have a 35-piece pack. This is our only pack of this. So that 20-piece pack and this are the only 2 official packs. Everything else will be by the sheet. So this is the purple and the teal together. What you get with it is, hold the phone. I've got a little listy here. And that goes with the teal side. I will say that the 3x5 cards, index cards, were blank to start with. They did not have lines on them, and they're vintage. So they're actually darker than they might normally be because the vintage paper absorbed more dye and absorbed it a little differently. So fun fact on that. And you're also getting a sample of the teal fabric. This is some muslin to go with your books. So that will be, so we'll start on the teal side. Then you get, so there's 3 index cards, the muslin strip, and you got 2 of the grid pieces. Oh, it's not showing, sorry. So 2 of the grid pieces, 3 pieces of lined paper, the aligned, let's hold that up there for you guys. The lines are still on it, so it'll be easy to write and see. I have to wait for the camera to catch up because there is some lag. So let's get this up here. There we go. So you can see the lines quite clearly. And then there are 10 sheets of or 15 sheets, I'm sorry, 15 sheets of the 24-pound with the grid and the lined, 3 index cards and 1 muslin strip. So we've got nice variations. A few of these have stippling. There's a little bit of occlusions here. Nice little color variation there. And then we'll flip over to our purple side where we have a sample of the purple fabric. There we go. And then we've got some fun. I gotta wait for it to catch up. This one, we had some nice color separation, which made some nice effects on the muslin strip and the paper and the index cards. So you can see kind of there, it created some really fun effects onto that. Then we've got our index cards. You've got 2 of the large index cards here, the 5x8s. The lag is is a little bit crazy. Okay, let me put that over here. And then over here we have two of the, with this, here you can see the spotting again on the grid paper. And 3 sheets of the lined paper, which look at that nice effects up there. The effects come from the layering in the die and where the paper winds up in the die. So fun effects. We've got some nice pooling right here. And then we'll move this over here. And here we go with the purple. So we'll show both sides there. Trying to make sure trying to get the end in there. Am I moving it the correct way? Hold on. There's a little bit of a learning curve. I'm still not quite. Let's see if we turn it this way, maybe. Okay, that's good. So you can see the lines over here, or where the color stippling happens. And I have to let it sit for it to show. This is showing lighter than it is, but it is a nice purple. You love the colors? All right, so let's, here we go. This piece has some nice occlusions on it here. Let me just hold that nice and steady for you. And then you've got just some nice color variation overall on this piece. And a lot of them are like that. So this pack is 35 pieces. And it is, it is $14.50 for all the pieces. Let me get the go in for you. 35 piece, teal and purple. It's $14.50. And there is your go. All right, let me get these. I'm not going to put them back in right now because I want to make them nice and neat for you guys. But I am going to stack it out of the way so that it doesn't get separated or anything. Roseanne, you'd like one of those? Perfect. I have a total of 4 of those available if anybody else is interested. I got you down, Roseanne. Okay. Carla, you would like one? Okay. I gotcha. All right, so now we are moving into our single sheet portion. So it's by the piece, and you can pick up individual packs. So we're going to start with purple. Purple is my first on the list. So we're going to start with our lined paper. So I put it into packs, into sections so you could kind of see. The lined paper itself is fairly light. It's almost a lavender. It does have some very nice effects though. Hey Adria, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a lovely Monday evening. So as we go here, we've got some of the same markings on these. So these are lined notebook paper, 8.5 by 11. I have 30 pieces and they're 50 cents each. So while I'm flipping, I'll go ahead and put that in for you. And that's 50 cents each. Oops. And the go is coming your way. So I'll continue to flip. Look at this one's got like the color. Sometimes the color pools on one end or the other, and it creates really nice effects. So in the lined notebook paper, we have this nice light purple, almost lavender. Ooh, here's one that's very splashy. Check that one out. Roseanne, you'd like 12? All right, let me get my pen for you. Roseanne D times 12, okay. And that leaves 18 pieces left. Yes, I am keeping up with my scissors. Thank you very much. So look at all the markings on this one. And then, so I'll show you a few more pieces and then we'll go next. Will be grid paper for this color, which is a little darker. I love the lined notebook paper. It's fun. I think it's fun. A fun addition to journals. I like to have paper going different ways. I think it's a nice fun. So if you're watching this later and you feel like you want to have some of this, there are 18 pieces left and they're 50 cents each. You love the ones with the grunge? Okay. All right, let me get those into the pile over here. So this one is the purple grid paper. And we will have the bugs worked out next time. We won't have the camera be all funky like this. I apologize. So we've got purple grid, 50 cents each. And I'm going to go ahead and put up your go, and then I'm going to show the papers. That gives you so that it's there when you're ready to say go, if you decide you would like some. So let me see. Let me put it down first and see if I can get it to kind of focus there. Roseanne, you'd like 12 of those as well? All right, I'll get you down for that. I've only got 10, hon. Is that okay? Is 10 all right with you? I'll put times 12. I may have a couple pieces. There's always a couple somewhere. I feel like, but if I can get 12, but it may only be 10. So, okay. And these, here you can see some of the purple marks there. The purple was fun with the, we got like some color separated and then it kind of went towards itself and created those nice kind of blobby shapes. Purple. They are nice and saturated. That's true. So I'm just waiting for the, I'm trying to keep my, I don't want to write on the muslin. I want to be able to use it a bunch of times. Okay. So this is our purple paper here. So you can see like this page has particularly a lot of the markings on it. I keep trying to. So there we go. But try to figure out the best way to flip it. This is, the orientation is not the best for my flipping. I think we'll have to do it one piece at a time so you guys can get the best look at it. All right, let me just make sure it's in the screen right. Splotchy is good. I mean it lovingly. It's not, I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. So you can see that one's got on both sides. Oh, I didn't put in the listing, did I? So this is purple 24-pound paper, 50 cents a sheet. Oop, that's not right. Too many fives in there. And I'm going to put in the go, and then I'll continue showing papers for a while so you guys can get a feel for it. We've got some nice, I think almost everyone has some markings on both sides. And it is actually fairly, we had a little bit of wrinkle in there for some nice effect. Usually when there's splotching or stippling or anything like that, Roseanne, you'll take 6 of those. Awesome. times 6. So that leaves, I have 55 pieces of this. So if anybody else would like some, there is plenty to go around. And then here you've got on this end a little darker, still with the stippling or the splotching. And this was a fun batch to create. You put the dye in, you put the, it's the same process every time, I'm telling you straight up. There's not a lot of, I mean, you can do different things. Sometimes it's got more occlusions. Sometimes you get a lot of stippling. The weather can affect it a little bit, but I honestly think there's just some dyeing gods out there, the gods of color that are like, and this batch will be, and that's what you get. So if anybody's looking at this later, there's plenty to go around here. If you're interested, it's 50 cents a sheet. My email address is in the description box. And as soon as I'm finished flipping here, look at the nice, some occlusions here. And we also get a little bit darker shading down here. So, and here we'll try and just, I don't know how well it's going to do, but we'll try and do some flippy this way. It's I feel like it's washing out a little bit. It is darker than it looks like on the screen. It's not as light as that. Some of you who bought from me for a while know, here's some, this is some definite stippling here. And then some occlusions as well. And then you've got a little bit of splotchies over here. So I'll wait till it comes up on the screen. And see if we can't get you a closer look at what's going on. Now it is darker than it's showing on this on the screen. So that is our purple 24-pound paper at 50 cents a sheet. Still some available. If anybody is watching later, you can feel free to email me, and I'll get my email in here. Remember, if you are a Patreon member at the $5 level and above, you do get an automatic 10% off. It's applied to your invoice when I do the invoice. I bill via PayPal, and I can accept Zelle. All right, so what we have are index cards here. These are 5 by 8. They are lined, and you can still see the lines. Both on Team Whoppers. Very nice. Happy to be on Team Whoppers. So the index cards turned out the darkest of everything, and they often do. It's a heavier weight paper. You love Zelle. It's very easy to use, I will say. It does make things very convenient. So we'll go through a few of these. And so this is purple index. The smaller ones will be 25 cents each, but these larger ones are 50 cents each. So 50 cents each. And I'm going to put up your go. And you can decide if you need to have some of this in your life. I find these are fun for pockets, and sometimes I use them for pages if I'm going to, you know, if I like a short page or whatever. They're fun as art cards. They're good if you want to alter, you know, if you're looking for a base that you want some color on it. I feel like when I'm moving it, see, this is showing much truer color up here. It's sitting. It's the color of both of them, but look at how it's moving. Yes, no fees at all. Purple paper, Alyssa, you'd like 5 pieces of the 24-pound paper? Oh, Lisa. Times 5, I gotcha. And then Roseanne, you'd like some of the index card? Oh, where did my index cards go? Oh, here we go. Roseanne. All right. So I'm, as you, which is weird. But when I move it, it like washes out. So I'll let that sit there for a minute so that it maybe, if you had money, well, you know, but we love having you hang out, whether you spend money or not. I love it when you guys have the money to spend for sure. But everybody, you know, you guys are always welcome here to have a chat and, you know, hang out with all of us. All right, we're going to do teal now. So we're moving into the teal single pieces. Oops. Let me get to the right place in my notebook. Okay, so we're just going to start with the lined notebook again. And I'm going to set it down and I'll unbuckle this one to start showing it, but I'm going to let it sit there for a second and just kind of show its color. So I'll go ahead and write it into the, so this is teal lined notebook. A nice, let me see what happens if I push it back a little bit more. Because it's darker than it's looking on. This is actually, and I don't know, maybe I need to have my sales during the day because so those are going to be 50 cents each. And the go is coming your way. So this piece has some stippling on it right up here at the top. I'm trying to go slowly so that it, there were some previews earlier on TikTok and, oh, look at this. It's got a nice amount of stippling up here at the top. It's nice and dark. And I think you can, yeah, I think you can see that. The bottom of the paper is lighter, but it's not as light as it's coming out on the, Roseanne, you'd like 12 of those? Okay. On page 2 4. Okay, so yeah, so these have a, you know, not tons and tons, but there's a, this one has stippling down here. It's in a kind of a swirly pattern. Again, here at the bottom and a little bit over here. I'm gonna see if that sets for a second, if it will show it a little better. Got a little darker here and here, and then a little bit lighter in the middle. It reminds me of some colored notebook paper I had in elementary school. And the kids were jealous. I remember those colored papers for my kids. So nice stippling up in here. So I think you get a good feel for, there's a fair amount of stippling on the lined notebook paper. So if you're watching this later and you think you might want some of this, there were a total of 55 pieces. No, wait, yeah. Oops, where did I write that down now then? So there are still around 40 pieces. There was a blue, yes, blue, purple. I think some of it was maybe yellow, and I definitely think there was a pink in there. It was fun and different. Who knew you could do it cheap for and customize your colors. You could get the exact color and shade you want. right, so next up is grid paper. Okay, that is purple. Let me get over to the next page. Here we go. So I have 35 pieces of this available. It's 50 cents each, and it is the grid paper. And this is lighter than, no, I think it's still showing a little lighter on the screen than it really is. If you had only known. I know you would have hoarded it, right? Or you would have just been dyeing your own all that time. You would have had colored fingers and colored paper. So teal, grid, 50 cents each. And the go is coming your way, and I'll unbuckle this and some of the colors that we have. There'll be a few with torn corners. These are torn out of a pad, so you don't always get the perfect. You'll take 12 of those, Adria. Nope. Roseanne, I'm sorry. I had Adria on the brain. I'm thinking about that paper. That paper on the brain. I got you down for 12 of the grid. Alyssa, you'll take 10 of the teal. I'm assuming you mean the grid and not the 20 and not the lined. 10 for Elisa. Okay. So let's see. This paper did not have stippling as much like the other. But it is there's a little tiny bit in here. It didn't, for whatever reason, it mostly settled on the lined paper. And I couldn't tell you why, because it wasn't at the bottom. Okay, perfect. If you still have some of that purple when I get money, I think I'll get some. Oh yeah, sure. Oh, that would be nice to mix it between the two. That nice fall purple that we did that was so very dark. It was a deep purple with dark lines. I can't remember the maker. Yes, definitely. Adria, just let me know. I am reopening my Etsy shop, and of course, always happy to help you guys out and do what I can. So some of them are darker, and there's a little bit more stippling here. So there are markings on the paper, but they're much less frequent than, but this is just a nice color. It turned out, you know, really well. It's from a medium teal to a light, so it's a nice mix. I think this would look good, like if you were doing a summer something water themed or mermaid. I think this could work for that. But this also goes well with some of those other darker, like this looks good with the dark chocolate paper, actually. This looks good with yellow. I'm not a super fan of it with the apple green together, but I think it could, depending on what else you pair with it. Tiffany blue. Not quite. It's a little darker than that, but yeah, it's kind of close. I will agree with you on that. So now we have our teal paper. And this is, I think this is the darkest of the teal paper is what we've got here. Let me let it sit there for a minute. Because, you know, it's got to sit and do its thing on the camera, and I got to let the lag catch up. So Roseanne, you want to gift that to Adria. Okay, Adria, you'll have to discuss it with Roseanne and let me know what purple you want, and I will make that happen. We don't want to break anyone's bank, but I love the kindness and consideration that you give to each other. So let me undo this. So this is the teal 24-pound paper. You can see that it's darker up here at the top, and this is, I want to give it a minute. I just want to give it a minute and not move it because it's darker than it's showing up. And I know that it was showing earlier, but now all of a sudden it seems blown out. So I'll put in the paper itself. So Teal, 24-pound paper. It's 50 cents a sheet. Oops, I guess it would help if I put in the decimal point, not $50. And the go is coming your way. Now how about I'll think about it? That's fair enough. So let me try turning it this way and see if that helps any. You guys are always so sweet to each other, honestly. So let's just start flipping and see if we go slowly. This paper is like 2 shades darker than what it's showing you on the screen. I know that's not helpful to those of you who haven't known me as long, but I think that the ladies who have known me a while will let you know that I don't lie about what the color is. It's darker than what's showing on there. Well, let's let the... So there's not much stippling in this paper, but there are some nice spots. You know, it's not as overall as much as with the line paper. Really got it big for some reason, but there are so medium to dark in the teal, or medium to light in the teal, but not as light as it's looking on the camera. But if you look at my Instagram, I did make some videos today and the colors were spot on. So if you look at those, you'll get a good look. And then when they go into the shop, I'll be able to take the pictures outside. 5 pieces of 20-pound purple. I don't have any envelopes, darling. No envelopes today. I have index cards. So here we go. That's got some stippling on it. Roseanne, you'll take, Roseanne and Elisa both will take 12 pieces each. Okay. And Roseanne. And then build to Roseanne is the 24-pound paper, Adria. I'm imagining things. Yes, there were index cards. Let me pull those back for you. Excuse the chair. And those are a nice dark color with what we're calling splotching, but we mean it lovingly. It's not an insult in any way. So I used to have lots of envelopes, and we'll have them again. Envelopes seem to come in cycles. So if you're looking for the teal paper, there is plenty of it left, and it's 50 cents a sheet. You just shoot me an email and I'll put it in again. Let me know how much you want, and I will get you a bill ready on PayPal, or you can also Zelle me money. Oh, apparently I definitely cannot talk and type at the same time. That's my email address for anybody who wants to order later on. 2 lovingly splotched cards. All right, I can do that. Let me just get it in this. So Roseanne to Adria. Times 2. Gotcha, lovely lady. I got it. Okay. So next up is going to be right. So I have these. One is a tea dyed set, one, and one is a teal. I'm going to sell them one after the other. So these are cardstock weight. I'm going to say probably 90 pound. The teal ones have a silver border to them, some occlusions. There are some with, let me see here. And these are darker than they are showing. These are, I'll let them sit for a minute, but I know there's a couple, and see, there you go. I think there's 2 like this in there, where they have a lot of, I'm going to let that sit for a second. Let's see if you can't. So there, I think there are 2 like this in there. She is very nice. She's a lovely, lovely lady. So what they are is they are cards. So it is not perforated. It's scored, so you can fold it in half. It's got this double silver detail around the edge. Like, it's got a nice texture to it. So it is a quality. These may have been wedding invitations. That may have been the intent for them, because they're kind of classy. But yeah, so they're my husband. They'll never believe us. They'll think we're all in cahoots and up to some shenanigans. I'm leaving that there so that hopefully it'll pick it up. Please be safe. So there are 15 of these available. They are 60 cents each. Teal with silver detail. Cards. I believe that's 90-pound stock. And they're 60 cents a piece. And the go is coming up. There was supposedly one that could be felt here last week or so, but I don't know anyone who felt it. So yeah, so these are definitely darker than they're appearing on the screen. Now I will let them sit there for a minute while I show you. So these are, I'm trying to see if they're, no, these are silver too. I thought they were gold, but it's a slightly different, no, it's gold. It just looks, because it's tea dyed, it's shiny. But this is a gold, and instead of the double detail on the front, it's got a single detail on the front. So these are tea dyed, and there is stippling on all of them. I don't know that it's going to show up, so I'm going to let that sit there for a minute. Let me find maybe one that's got a little bit more. They all have some, but some of them are a little more. That is stuck to there. It's a piece of paper that was floating in the, there we go. But let me let this one sit and see if it'll come a little. You'll take 4 of those, Roseanne? Perfect. I think they're really fun. So Roseanne D times 4, perfect. And then these are the same price, so I'll put in the gold detail, not God detail, gold. Tea dyed cardstock. And those are same price. And the go for that's coming your way as well. Artifacts. So you can see the darker spot here, but they're stippling all up and through here. And I'm rubbing it. It does have some texture to it, but it doesn't just rub right off. So here's one with quite a lot there. I think there are 2 or 3 like this, where there's a lot of stippling detail on it. And it is like when I rub my hand over it, the card itself has a texture, but then on top where all this is also got additional texture. You'll take 4 of those. There are only 10 of these available, so there'll be 6 left. Roseanne. I may take a couple and make a single signature book out of it. I think they're beautiful. We're going to do some coffee ones and probably other not too dark colors, because I think if we dyed them too dark, like if I made them black, I don't think that silver detail would still, or that gold detail would still stand out. Okay. Thank you, Miss Roseanne. All right, so we are up to we did purple index cards. So we have our teal index cards. Let me figure out where I put them. Here we go. So these are 3x5 index cards, and they are 25 cents a piece. These are the darkest, of the teal. They're vintage. They're unlined. So and you get, I'm just going to kind of spread them around so you can kind of see the different effects. Not any real stippling on these. These just sucked up the dye. They really did. They did it in an awesome way. There's some occlusions, some marks from them laying over each other. Some of them are super dark. Those are the teal ones. So let me get that in there. So this is teal 3x5 index. No lines. Okay, you'll take 10 of those, Alyssa, and those are 25 cents each. All right, so Alyssa with the teal, you would like Lisa, 410. Gotcha. So yeah, and there are lots of these available because they come in 100 packs. So, and I dyed the whole pack. But these ones are actually vintage. They're so the darker ones, Roseanne. Okay, I can do that. Times 6 at dark. Okay. Let me get those back together with their. All right, so if you're watching this later, there are plenty of index cards to go around. Okay. And then we do have, I know some of you have already purchased, but if you haven't seen them before, we do have some mauve index cards. And I'll lay them out. These are, oh, there went my notebook onto the floor. I'll get it. So I'm going to lay these out. There's some very nice occlusions. There is some stippling on these. These are 8.5 or 8x5, 5x8, 5x8. So here we go. You can see this one shows a lot of the stippling. Here we go. And then let me get my notebook off the floor. It just slid right off and gave up on life. So yeah, so these are 50 cents each. So index 5x8, 50 cents each, and the go is coming your way on that. Have I flipped my lid? I don't think so. All right, so that's the mauve ones. If anybody decides they need one, or 5 or 10 or whatever, you know, float your boat. If you're watching this later. Okay, next up, I have 8 of the coffee dyed, or yeah, these are coffee dyed popcorn bags. So they're not, oh yes, I'm so dense sometimes. You're right. Yes, my brain flipped over onto the ground. It never happened. So there are 8 of the popcorn bags, and these are, I think, right at 12 inches to the top there, just slightly under 12 inches this way, and then they are 5 inches this way. They are like, they're not glassine, they're sort of waxy. They are gusseted, so you could take this apart carefully and you could spread it out and use it. You could maybe even use it for something clowny, you know, because it's red. Without the popcorn side, it is just red stripes. So you could pass it off as a circus tent type thing if you wanted to. So you could probably get a lot of mileage out of this bag, whether you fold it into a journal or you kind of cut it so that you can spread it out some and use it another way. Alyssa, you'll take 3 of the popcorn bags. Okay, they're 50 cents each. Coffee day. So Alyssa, B times 3. So next, and those are coffee dyed. And there is a go. I got you already, Lisa. So there are, she took 3, so there are 5 left of those. We're down to the last 3 items, ladies. We've got a little bit of our Sassy Unicorn paper left. We have 2 kinds. We have, did I miss the yellow paper? Did I somehow, or did I not put, oh, maybe I only put yellow in. Teal. Yellow will be in the, I can show it briefly for anybody who might want some yellow. It pairs nicely with a lot of things, actually. Even the black, if you want to do like a bumblebee thing. So we're going to do the grid first, and I have, so it's 50 cents a piece. Sassy Unicorn grid paper. There are 8 pieces available. And these are some lovely, nice, dark. And the purple is a little bit darker than it's showing. They've been crinkled and dipped or dripped or rolled. I bold pieces into other pieces just to see what would happen. There was no violence. It was a gentle roll. I did not, Roseanne. Thank you for catching that. Mauve index. Let me go back up. I see you for 5, Roseanne. I do see it now. I'm terribly sorry about that. I would never deliberately skip the lovely Roseanne. And how are those grandbabies anyway? How's that grandbaby doing? Grandbabies are just the best thing in the whole world. They have that new baby smell. Times 5. Gotcha. Thank you for catching it, lovely lady. So this is Sassy Unicorn grid, or I could learn how to spell corn. 50 cents each. And the go is coming your way. So you can see that it was dipped in tea, and then it was, you know, made very sassy. They are growing up. It's awesome. Love to hear it. And then this is our Sassy Unicorn paper of the 24-pound variety. This is a little bit lighter. It still has very nice effects. Let me see if I can get this one to show up. I'm just going to let it sit there for a second. This shows off some of the best coloring. So you've got some blue, a little bit of teal, some purple. You've got some of the coffee that it was dipped in first. A little bit of the pink in there. So, yeah. We're just, what does Pop and Uni have in common? Corn. And I could learn how to spell it. It's a thing. So, Sassy. Okay. I will not argue with you. So, Roseanne to Adrian. So these are the same 50 cents a pound. Oh, Sassy. I can't spell sassy either. Sassy Unicorn, 24-pound. 50 cents per piece. And the go is coming your way. You'll take 6, Roseanne. Perfect. Times 6. Gotcha. Okay, and we're to our very last item, lovely lady. I can show the yellow if you'd like, or if there's anybody who's come in the meantime and you haven't spoken up and you want to see something again, let me know. I have this. I made 3, and 2 of them are for me. But this one is an extra one, and it is, in general, it's made out of upcycled material, so it is approximately 5 by, to the topmost piece over here, 8. The cover itself stops at 7, but I made it so that it has overhang. So this is packaging, Coke packaging cover, reinforced, and then it's got, this is one of those packing envelopes with the weird white stuff in the middle, extra book page, a lot of paper bag stuff. Some of it's paper bags, some of it is, again, there's the envelope, book page. This is a mailer it doesn't have, it's not the 2 pieces sandwiched between the white bubble stuff. It's just one of those great big heavy duty mailers. We've got the cover off a book in here. You know what? And I didn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pages plus the cover for 10. And then, you know, you go back the other way. So you get all the other stuff. Go the other way. This, there's a couple pieces that have, you know, I peeled the labels off them, so they're slightly sticky. They don't do any damage when you peel the other part away. It's just a thing that happens until you glue your own stuff in here. You could also use it as a writing journal or a combo. I envisioned it as a glue book myself. Wants another 6 sassy grid? Sure, absolutely. I get to talking. So there'll be 2 of the sassy grid left for anybody who's watching this later. I got you on that. You missed the sassy grid because you were too busy foisting paper on Adria. You're stopping now. Okay, so I got it. Thank you, Adria, for letting me know. I appreciate that. So this is just upcycled packaging, journal / glue. I'll just put GB for glue book. And it is $7.50 if anybody's interested. It's a super fun way to just use up things. I have 2 of my own. That's why I'm trying to give this one a new home. Hopefully you'll give it a name. You're number 1. So if anybody decides they want that, whether it's right now or if somebody watching back, that is $7.50, and it is still available. And that is all our things. So we'll throw some stuff up here for the camera to look at, and then we'll talk for a minute, and then we will get the heck out of here. And I will be back in 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm going to do some glue booking because I have earned some arty fun. And you guys will hopefully come back and see me, or maybe I will see you another night. Today is Monday. Tomorrow is Magazine Harvest Day, so we're gonna try and blow our way through 2 magazines. I'm gonna try and do it. So these are some of the things, just as a fun way to go out, you know. Put some of our fun stuff up here. I had such a good time. Yeah, I am rediscovering my love of dyeing and to do some new experiments. You'll be seeing some interesting papers coming up in the next next week's sale, at least 1 or 2 new colors. And very soon we're going to have some more coffee and tea dyed paper also coming up. So if anybody's watching back and you see something you want, there are leftovers available for you guys to pick up and use and love, and fold, spindle, and mutilate into new things. Tornadoes are a thing in Ohio. We never actually had one in the area. I lived in Columbia. There wasn't one while I actually lived there, but there were lots of warnings, and there were some in the periphery in towns around where I lived. I was lucky enough to not experience one directly. And I hope that you are also lucky enough to not experience one directly, Roseanne. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's a lot of stuff going on. So thank you guys for coming in and joking around and having some fun with me. Like I said, I'll be back. What is it? It's 9:41. Let's say 10:15 my time. So that's going to be 10:15, 9:15, 8:15, and 7:15 going west across the country. And look at it now that I'm not. Dude, look at how nice the colors are coming out. Is that not silly or what? Once it sits there for a while and it really gets to focus on it, starts looking pretty good. Let's get some of that purple paper up there. You've had them there a few times. The wind is just crazy. Leaves Lady Nora Roberts because she's now there's 2 men and I don't like. Oh, yeah, Nora Roberts was much more fun. Thank you, Elisa, and thank you for coming in and spending a little time with me. I will get you billed tomorrow, and we will get it mailed out to you as quick as possible, because I know when I order something, I want it as quick as I can get it in my hot little hands. So I can touch it and pet it and squeeze it and call it George. Or whatever you want to name it, you know? So however you guys are... yes, good night, all you lovely ladies. However you're spending your days and nights, I sure hope it brings you great joy and happiness. Each and every one of you absolutely deserves it. Until I see you in one of my lives or in a box somewhere or in, you know, like at 10:15 my time. I wish you guys the happiest of crafting. Bright blessings and hugs and hisses to you all. Bye. And that is the end. We're going to push that button. Push the button. Good night, Adria and Elisa and Roseanne and Carla if she's sleeping and the lovely Miss Precious, and say good night to the lovely QB for us. The end. Oh, I'm in the wrong place to end it. I have to end it on the phone. Oh, I got to stand up for that. That's a thing. Okay. Now, where's the endy thing? Is that it? Are you sure you want to? Yes, I do. Yes. There we go.